So if you have not read this book, then I will put timestamps in the bottom. So if you haven't read this book, you can just get a little bit of a spoiler free video. But the parts that are not marked will be spoiler filled. So please make sure to look at the timestamps as to not spoil yourself if you intend to read this book.
I am so scared of falling down. I just won't climb in the first place. Hold my head under, let me drown. Because I'm empty space and I can't let things lie. It's alright.
Hi, so
I stay the same.
how I'm getting along with From Blood and Ash.
Give
I
a
am
little star.
247 pages in. I am really getting along with it. I like the characters. Poppy in particular is my favourite. I like her a lot. I like that she is feisty. She is the maiden, which means she is not to be looked upon or touched. She has to pretty much lead a life of nothing. So she can be pure and accepted by the gods. But Poppy doesn't really live by the rules and does a lot of things that are forbidden, which I enjoy. I like she doesn't follow the rules. I really enjoy her relationship with Victor, who is like a father figure to her. I enjoy their dynamic. He taught her self defense and he trained her so she can take care of herself. He also cares of her well being as much as he can. He is a royal guard, so he is bound by duty, but he does look out for her, and he is the only real one that does. There is Tawny that is a maid, a handmaiden to the maiden, but she is also a friend, and even though they are bound by the relationship they have as maiden and handmaiden, they also have a friendship in between all that. And I like the difference between Tawny, who is the perfect lady in wait. She is polite and lovely, and I love the dynamic that Poppy isn't, and she is technically meant to be, but Poppy is the complete opposite of Tawny. She's a little bit messier and a little bit more realistic in her thought process. So I really like that. The first introduction to Hawk was really good. I liked that he didn't know that Poppy was the maiden. I felt like it gave it a bit more of a mysterious vibe to their first meeting. But when he becomes her guard, he's obviously going to notice that she is the girl he met at the Red Pearl, because like he would know, and he does. He finds out. He calls her princess, and I was like, oh, he knows her. I love the way that the storyline is going between the two of them. It is seeming like a slow burn. I don't mind that in fantasy. I like a slow burn relationship in fantasy, as opposed to contemporary, because I believe when you have a slow burn romance in fantasy, the plot can shine, and vice versa. When the romance is heavy, the plot can step back, so it can do both. And this book is doing both. I am really enjoying it so far. I've actually been finding the book quite funny. There is certain aspects of the book that the narrative has been quite where I've chuckled to myself, which I did not expect, and I have really enjoyed that aspect. And yeah, I've been having a really good time with this. So it is Monday, and I don't work till tomorrow, so I am going to read some more of this tonight, and I will hopefully check back in soon with more thoughts and feelings as I go through. But so far, I am really enjoying this book, and I am so glad that I am, because I bought all three of them at the same time. And this because I have had a huge interest in these books since they came out, and they seem like right up my street. I love fantasy romance, and this just sounded like a recipe for a great time, and so far it is. I have heard this book gets wild, so I am looking forward to when that happens. But until then, I will check out now and go read some and check back in with my thoughts once I have some.
am addicted. It's latching onto my mind. I cannot fix it.
I think Victor just died. Why couldn't it have been Lord Mazine? Why? Why did it have to be Victor? Why? So, Victor didn't die for nothing. Lord Mazine just died, and I am so fucking happy. Go Poppy. We love Poppy. I love her. She's amazing. I hate Lord Mazine, and I am so glad that he got beheaded by Poppy, who is such a fucking badass. Oh, this book is getting out of control. I am living for it. Mm, mm. Hey, so I am reading From Blood and Ash, and I am 512 pages in, and I'm calling it that Hawke is I think he's the Dark One. Like, previously, I had thought that he was a little bit suspicious because he just came on the scene out of nowhere. He was from the capital. No one had heard a lot about him apart from he was really good at what he does, which is protect, kill, and that's how he got where he is. But he got put up to Poppy's Royal Guard fairly quickly. Like, there was no training, no nothing. He got picked over so many people that had been there for so long. So I did think that was a bit strange. And he also seems like the thing when they go in the willow tree and he can see in pitch black, like, that's not human. And then the thing that, like, they were coming out of the willow tree and, like, he had an argument with Victor, and then when Poppy turned around, he was gone. And I was like, well, that's speed. So, like, I knew he was something else. I knew he wasn't just a royal guard. But I did not think he would betray Poppy like this. Like, oh my god. He has literally just, like, had sex with her, and now she's, like, chained up in a not dungeon, but it is a dungeon. And, like, he has just completely betrayed her, and I don't know why. Like, I think he's the Dark One because there's hints to it, like, I think are pretty foreshadowed, which is, like, certain parts are like, oh, if the Dark One wanted you dead, you'd be dead. And it's like, well, yeah, if Hawke is the Dark One and he wanted her dead, he had plenty of chances to do it, but he didn't, and that's why you're saying that. Oh, I was totally rooting for Hawke because he was so good, and he is still good. I still like him. I just don't know if he's going to be like a morally grey character that I like now. And I love Poppy, so I'm totally biased because he's just betrayed, like, my favourite character. I love Poppy. I think she's a badass, and I just think that he's just totally fucked her over, and I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. So I have like 100 pages left. I've tabbed this up, and I only have this much left. So I am gonna finish this tonight because I am absolutely loving it, and I can't wait to come back with my full thoughts at the end. But so far, this is amazing, and I am here for all the drama, and I need to know what happens between Poppy and Hawke because how can she ever forgive him? I feel like what he done was because he really wanted to, and he does have real feelings for her, but we shall see, I guess. So I will come back once I finish this book and probably fangirl some more. Let's hope the ending is good as the rest of it.
You're wasting my time. I'm running in circles. My thoughts are no crime. Be honest with me. Can't take no lies. I don't know why I'm trying so hard to change your mind. Change your mind. Change your mind. Only like you when I'm lonely. It's not my fault that I'm inside your head.
So last night I finished From Blood and Ash and I absolutely loved it. So I'm gonna put a little part here that is non-spoilers so that if you have not read this book, you can still see my thoughts without being spoiled. So from Blood and Ash follows Poppy, who is a maiden, and she's not to be looked upon, she's not to be touched. She pretty much needs to leave a life of solitude so she can be deemed worthy and ascend by the gods. When people around her start dying and the ascension grows near, things start happening. And overall, this book is amazing. It's definitely a fantasy romance, and it definitely has certain things that are tropes that you see quite often, but the writing is amazing. It did drag a little bit. I think it could have been like 100 pages shorter, but I didn't mind it being so long because I really enjoyed it. Whereas I think the size of this book puts people off. And I'm just saying now that don't be put off by its size. It is so good and you can fly through it because it's so addicting. So so if this size scares you, then please don't be intimidated by it because it goes through really, really quick. So the characters, I loved Poppy. I really think she's a great main character and I cannot wait to follow her even more. I like Hawk. Um I can't wait to get into my spoiler thoughts about that, but as of spoiler free thoughts, I still like him as a character and I can't wait to see what he does in future books. And I also think that Victor and Tawny and the Duke were all great side characters and they all added something to the story. So there was no 2D characters here. They all jump off the page and that is great. The atmosphere is phenomenal. There's this tension that doesn't leave all the way out throughout the book, whether it be plot tension, romance tension, character tension. It is in here from start to finish. The atmosphere just really is lively and really great. The writing is fabulous. Again, I think it could have been slightly shorter, but I think if it was slightly shorter, the writing would maybe have suffered a little bit because the way the writing is very buildable. It you can tell that it's inviting you into a world, and you if you're me who enjoyed this book immensely, then I didn't mind it because I wanted all the information that Jennifer L. Armentrout gave. But again, it could have been done in the second book, so this could have been slightly shorter. But overall, the writing was really good. The plot was amazing. I predicted a couple of things, but nothing compared to the actual plot and where it went at the end of the book because I was shocked where it went, even though I predicted some of it. So definitely a great plot. Editing Shannon here. So I have been editing this video and then during this whole bit I'm talking about from Blood and Ash, I have this weird cowlicky thing going on with my hair and it's been annoying me the whole time that I've been editing, so I thought I'd point it out so it can now annoy you too. You're welcome. The intrigue was definitely there. I flew through this in like 5 days, I think. So the intrigue definitely kept me turning pages. It kept me wanting to know more about Poppy and Hawk and the world and all the things that happen in this world. So it definitely kept me intrigued and flipping pages. And then my enjoyment of this was amazing. I just absolutely loved it, and it is a 5-star read for me. It came out as a 5.19 on Copile, which is a low 5-star, which feels right, which is great because I love when the rating comes out to how I actually feel. And then I believe that hopefully the books will just continue on that trend for me. So I am so happy that I read this. It was a 5-star read and I definitely recommend it if you're into fantasy romance, if you like a world built completely from scratch that immerses you completely. I definitely recommend this. You can fly through this. Please don't be intimidated by its size. Pick this up. If any of what I just said interests you, please pick this up. I think you'll enjoy it. I sure as hell did. Now I'm gonna go into spoiler thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts. My spoiler thoughts. Wow. Just wow. So the last thing that I says to you was that I think that Hawk is the Dark Prince, and he is. He fucking is. Of course he is. Like, I knew that was gonna happen. What I didn't know was gonna happen is that he was gonna be like, yeah, we're getting married. Like, what? Why? What? Like, I think my prediction is this is a trope, and I know that um a lot of people have mixed feelings about this as a trope, but I think that Poppy and Hawk are mates, which I was a bit like, I laughed at. I really laughed at it because it's a trope that I know well. Sarah J. Maas does it really well, but I think this plotline could have maybe not done with it because I was here for it regardless if they were mates or not, the way that the characters interact with each other. And I believe that Hawk really does have feelings for Poppy, and Poppy obviously loves Hawk. From this point on, though, I will not be calling him Hawk. I will be calling him Cass because that is, well, his real name is Castile, and his nickname is Cass. So from now on, from this point forward, I'm going to refer to him as Cass because that is his name. Love a name change in the middle of a series, a book, or a series. It really doesn't confuse things at all. So who was it talking about? Hawk? No. Cass. Yes, see. So, Cass. I knew he was the Dark Prince. I called that pretty much about 500 page mark. I knew he had something to do with it. I knew that he was a little bit sketchy because he just came out of nowhere and all of a sudden was Poppy's guard and stuff. So I knew there was something to do with him. I didn't know he was going to be the Dark Prince until 500 page mark. I did think that he was going to be part of that plot though. So yeah, okay, it was a little bit predictable, but what happened after he revealed himself was not predictable in the slightest. So Cass actually kind of keeps Poppy prisoner in a cell, and then like they have an argument and she stabs him in the chest, like full on stabs him. And then he survives that because he's Atlantean, and then he bites her and then they have sex, which whatever floats your boat, but I think you've got more important things to be sorting out. But hey ho, I wasn't complaining, it was written really well. So I think that his intentions haven't really been declared yet. Poppy's intentions of running away have been declared, so it'll be interesting to see if she actually does run away and escape, or if she even wants to, because I have total visions of her being like the Dark Princess and Poppy and Cass just like ruling over everything. No more ascensions, no more Craven, no more vampires, just like Atlanteans and, well, vampires that don't make Craven, maybe, if that's a possibility. I have really, really high hopes for the sequel of this book because I absolutely adored this and everything that it done. It's been so long since I found a series that the first book I've gave 5 stars, because sometimes the first book is really slow going and it's hard to get into a new world. So this is just blew me out of the water. I went in with pretty high expectations and I was not disappointed, which I absolutely love. And yeah, like everything that happened in this book really, like the first 200 pages, I would say, were very much world building. And then the next 200 pages were plot building. And then the last 200 pages, shit just went wild. So the angle has changed because my camera died halfway through me speaking, which is great. But yeah, I am just going to wrap this video up now. I gave From Blood and Ash 5 stars. I absolutely adored this. I am going to continue the sequel. I actually picked up the sequel straight away last night after I finished this, and it kicks off right where this one ends, so I'm just going to jump right into the sequel, and I'm hopefully going to do a vlog for the sequel as well, so you can get my whole thoughts as I go through this series. But this is me just telling you that I gave this 5 stars. I completely recommend it, and I absolutely adored it. Like, I don't know what else to say, really. So if you're interested in seeing my vlog for A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, the sequel to From Blood and Ash, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when that video comes out. Also, comment down below if you've read this book or series. If you've read From Blood and Ash, please comment down below your favourite thing and your least favourite thing and what you rated it, because I love to be nosy. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, a great week. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you next time.
Pack up my summer in a Ziploc bag. Old maps and tchotchkes, photographs, said this and that. I'll write myself a letter so that I'll remember